The program Good Morning Salon, they continue inside the program where they start to look at issues. Also, we they go now the All People's Congress Party. Also, the president for the National Young Congress of the All People's Congress Party and Ansu Bana don't call on government for put system in place. Now, what we go tap the way how people they bring chemical them with them believe say people can use for make kush and other bad drug them. They talk this is about engagement with the national executive of the All People's Congress Party, all with young people therefore talk about the effect of kush and other bad drug them with the theme not us, not here, not ever. The deadly kush crisis must end now. We reporter Mary Kamara Bangura gets more and go now report.
The All People Congress APC na the main opposition na the country. For sake of this, plenty people don't call on them for be part, and the call where the president be make this BNTM na for make all salon people open and take part. Follow the kush done at the country and serve. Let people not put politics pan kush. For sake of this, make the All People Congress APC executive and member them don't begin for engage young people them. We don't involve par kush with the theme not us, not here, not ever. This deadly kush crisis must go now. The National Secretariat General for the All People Congress, Lansana Dumbuya, explain the reason for the program.
But we are here to sound a final alarm. For let we give the voice to the silent people them. They wonder where they die in a treat for kush. We then ask them voice them because they're not able to talk. Today now we not a megaphone for talk to the government. For talk to una then when they see una company them. They and this thing when una able for all them. For stop them, but we not allow them for continue. And that's what we are today.
The National Publicity Secretary for the All People Congress, Sidi Yaya Tunis, say them as APC, they know they see this kush fight as politics fight.
We are the APC. We know they see this fight against drug as a political fight because we don't ever take and say this not politics. This not a crisis where they among we all as a nation. So we see and say now a national crisis where require we all to come together for better. Whether them point finger per we say na 2014 it come na this country, we know they go that side because we all know say 2014 not to kush or drugs na been salon problem. 2014 we all been busy they fight Ebola.
One health specialist, Dr. Samuel Kabo, say young people and they take drugs due to stress for make themselves happy.
The reason why people them, especially young people them, they can get some small problems or they frustrated, so they work no day, and that we see a lot of things or they just want to make themselves happy. And so when they take small parts of them, initially it will give you that small amount of glad way they get. But then the big thing about that are the addiction. As soon as you don't take one, you know they blow, you want to take the next day, you want to take the other day, you want to take the other day, and when you continue for take them, what did they happen now? You become addicted, you don't stay on the person. Then the problems then begin for come. The problems then plenty where they come. The reason twofold. Number one, the drug itself, if you take an overdose, it'll kill immediately. Almost all of them, the overdose are one. But then the second problem itself, now as I say, the addictive nature, where you don't take them a lot, then it begin to cause more danger in the body because of the chemical itself.
The president for the Young People Congress, Ansu Bana, said the car wash where they come with for Waska. Now then they use them for smoke kush.
Today they come with car wash. Instead of una wash the car them, now they man they use that for smoke kush. And I'm not going to want let una lose hope as young people. 10 years not to forever. It go down and APC go come for rebuild this country. But una for there in good health. Una for there in the right sense of mind. If una continue for take this kush, no matter the party where you support, you not go benefit from waiting they come for you. So do you, I want it personally. Let we take her upon we said say we go left for smoke kush. Because the chemicals the way that they use for that kush, the key are not even there. Like I said, say nobody know there we not on lost spots in true kush. But now something will be able to stop.
The chairman for the All People Congress, USA, Kebi Toure, we get this for say.
One of the most important agenda we can come with, where what kind of power? That should be our focus, and that should be our priority, and that should be our key point. Attitudinal change. We go say at the left, and you determine for left. Otherwise, we go Canada, we talk speeches. If we are not determined, say, I will put a stop to this, we cannot. So let us change our attitude and look forward for a better Sierra Leone.
The chairman for the All People Congress, Alhaji Usman Fode Yansane, says citizens in the Salon.
Citizens of Sierra Leone have been subjected to this call as a result of the careless government attitude towards the problems of this country. Now, what you will know, let's start by first establishing that there is a problem. If we don't know the problem and the origin of the problem, we get difficulty. But if you find needle, you come pin team up and the needle, you look around, you know they get a solution. And that is what is happening in this country. People then will believe, say, they don't care if other people begin die from this call, as long as they benefit financially and otherwise, let them begin to die. Otherwise, why should the government even contest the mayor assertion that people are dying in the streets of Freetown?
After all them people here, we don't give them a statement. I be talk to one young man, Mohamed Sisse, and at this in be get for say.
We get a lot of friends here, we brothers them, with the sea, and not the street we at all. Some of us with friends who all attend school. When we see them with a shame because of how we see that today, it's also going to work right now, don't can destroy. Most of the youths them, no focus money. Let me check now the schools them. The young one then they will compare as the future leader. But they let's see. They don't can put them down. So between they go to school and sleep bed tickets, but they go understand nothing. And we tell the big one to say, this how they tackle this push. Now this community, let them engage in community. Now the whole country, we don't get problem with that, the state of emergency. But they are both selling. Most of them know they sell the push, we know them personally. Let them allow me, let me meet them with the youth there. Because you know they care for destroy the next people alive. You say you make money. We know they glad for that. When they see other money between they die, you know they say, and the money and they make.
Mohamed Sisse end up call on government and the All People Congress for continue for support them against this kush fete. It don't really affect them and their family them because this kush don't make even their family don't disown them right now on the street then they suffer. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mary Kamara Bangura they report.
Now, good morning, Salon, and they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As will be mentioned, one part of the headline story then for say today inside the program, we go look inside the statement where the Chief Justice be make about how judge and magistrate them for give bail to people with engage with kush other bad drug them now the country. Well, for talk on that, we don't join at the studio already. Now, Moses Kamara, we are the spokesperson for the Salon Judiciary. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Yeah, good morning.
And also Jeremy Ben Simbo, we are the acting executive director for Center for Accountability and Rule of Law. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning.
The program where they listen to our Good Morning Salon and they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. So before we can look quick one, but waiting the statements where the Chief Justice be make as part of the judiciary the UASF for CCA the help government by the fight against the kush fights in the country. And Moses, let me take me through waiting on the happen so far now the judiciary before we can talk about the actual way they are forget for do the statement or get for do with the Chief Justice.
Well, actually, the judiciary, as they tell people that we are created by law and we are very key. We are the third arm of government. And if you watch at section 120, subsection 1, talk about the creation of the judiciary. And subsection 2, they talk about we mandate, see, we get the power for preside on both criminal and civil matters then. All over the country within the geography of Sierra Leone. And section 120 subsection 3 they talk about the judicial independence, where they say once a matter has been assigned to a judge, that judge for use the law and other evidence for determine the outcome of that case. The judiciary, we don't do extremely well, and more especially with the new Chief Justice, Justice Kamara. We don't see much progress. We see we in take over the first thing we in BC now for discourage people and for detain people and encourage say every magistrate court and even to high court for ensure say bail should be given except on other circumstances wherein we feel say there is no need for a bill be given. For instance, if you look at the nature of the offense and public interest in the type of offenses, then will they happen. But we see itself they move around and they go from court to court unannounced for check how far people then they give bail. And also about that, we see in mass prison court where in be take all over the country, and we be see the result. What will be unique about that prison court and become with certain things than with the other prison court they not be get. One, that is to say anybody with the above 60 years within a prison, we for ensure say we do it best for we able to get them released, and we be see that category day, and we see how in treat the prison court be treat the mentally deranged people them, and we also see people that will not be supposed for the in prison, the matter then review them. And also recently we also see a statement from the Chief Justice where he informed the people and see the Court of Appeal, they move now the provincial area. What has been happening is that the Court of Appeal be always sent on a tongue. If there is a judgment at Makini, then waiting the appeal. If you appeal, you get for can downtown for let they can hear the appeal. If you get judgment na Potloko, you get for can downtown. If you get judgment na High Court na Makini Bo, na Kenima, you get for can downtown. And so therefore, waiting in the sea is like you take the Court of Appeal to the doorstep of the people then. Because one of the things then in the wisdom of the Chief Justice, now the fact that people then we're not financially strong on appeal matters, then they will get access to the court because of the geographical location, outside the commode, the terrain, take kind of Freetown, the cost of transportation, where you can also get for can lodge. So all them things then they in the effective justice delivery. So what we do is that we for take judges them where they go sit down and Makini. So all the cases then we come on that environment, they win an appeal will be dealt with there. You understand? You go Kenima, now the same thing. So there has been marked improvement, and also in leadership, don't able to ensure say we don't decongest prison. Now, if you check now the prison, you go discover say the one them we supposed for Didi, not in the Didi. The one they were not supposed for Didi, even on the issue of bail, they need the Didi. If you see say somebody now within a prison say they refuse them on bail, you discover see now for heinous offenses. So there has been marked improvement. We don't get judges them in Moyamba, we get resident judge in Moyamba, we now get resident judge with the cover Kailan, we get resident judge in Kenima. Okay. So all over the place there has been marked improvement, and I will tell you for say we have enough magistrate there now for deal with magisterial matters then.
Okay, Moses, you don't get a lot of things that don't happen now the judiciary under the leadership of the Chief Justice, Justice Combat Commander. One area where you mentioned about now the issue of the congestion of prisons across the country. You mentioned that a lot of reforms don't take place at that area there. But when you go visit plenty of the prisons across the country, more especially in Freetown, you go see a lot of people still they in prisons, either for trial or either for something else we perhaps they're not supposed for there.
Yes, I'm not going to refute the fact on which they say. The issue of a lot can also determine on the size of the prison. Now, let me just give you instance. Pademba Road was initially built for 320 or 22 people. You understand? And mind you, that is the main correctional center. In fact, you get people that we don't convict them for long term in prison, then they pull them from Dembo, Kenima, Kono, then carry them up Pademba Road. You understand? Now, when we are talking about decongestion of prison, we need to say you pull everybody, or you create a space wherein if somebody turning and in a good shot, nobody know. Because there has also been increase in crime. You will agree with me that there is an increase in crime. And the rate at which we dey take for pull people them, we dey get much people them with the kind side. So for we
increase in crime at the Moses, but also blame don't they go to the judiciary in terms of delay of trial?
No, we'll come to that area. It's what people think and what people then define as delay of trial. Waiting at the trial for say, the more we dey pull, the more we dey come in, we dey get people in. You understand? But let us say if we have let me say 1,200 people at the male correctional center. We do activities, then the court then sit, we grant bail, we do sentencing, some of them we discharge. We don't decongest. So we need to be able to get that number back. But within the process, because of the nature or the rates at which people then they commit crime, when we require you for dinner prison, you'll be there. And mind you, we cannot say everybody should be left or should be released. No. We are saying the focus of the leadership of the judiciary, now the fact that whosoever supposed for the prison, whosoever therefore refuse bail, when there is an evidence, there is the nature of the offense for let them not grant you bail could not be granted. But waiting with the assure the people them under Justice Kamara and the fact say anybody will not supposed for the in prison, needed in a prison.
Okay, continue for the between the program. Moses Lamin Kamara, the spokesperson for the Salon Judiciary, as in the year for talk about one statement with the Chief Justice be make in relation to granting bail to people where then go found guilty of drug, more especially cushion other one them. Continue for the which way. Well, they come now to a other studio. Guest winner Jeremy Ben Simbo, when are the acting executive director for Center for Accountability and the Rule of Local. We save the Indian at the studio for to continue. We get for do with the statements where the Chief Justice be make and other thing them. Well, Center for Accountability and the Rule of Local, a civil society group, we don't they work for promote justice, human rights, and good governance na Salon. And the year of granting bail, make people they know their rights, but bail now one thing we Center for Accountability and the Rule of Law don't they take us, they don't they sensitize people and talk to people but their rights, more especially we in camp and bail business. Before we talk about that, for long term now, don't say we not get Carl at the studio. Waiting on the happen na Carl.
Thank you very much again, and good morning to family listening. Carl still there, nothing wrong, we don't happen na Carl. When I don't done they get to the studios, but things when I done the air we news them. Last week, I'm sure we'll be there again on the news. Carl don't still done the doing job. As you rightly said, they currently act as executive director because Mr. Ibrahim told me currently out of the country, the travel out of Sierra Leone. Carl done with plenty thank you to we various development partners and with special reference to UNDP. We currently they work on two projects with UNDP. One girl for deal with the for the sexual gender-based violence, where UNDP don't give Carl some few support for some few months, for a lot try for provide education and for also train people, understand key stakeholders. Now few chiefdoms, now 3 districts, we get for the youth Skyline, get for the youth Moyamba, and also get for the youth Falaba. You remember, say the one extreme ends, the one in the when you look at where I don't call so now this part of the country, part of the project and that for law first. Try for provide education on sexual gender-based violence and for also provide education on the Devolution of Estates Act. We get for the inheritance to matrimonial property. We don't know, see a lot in this country, we don't clearly show first how people therefore married and also where either of the people then we married, the man or the woman, we then die, how therefore share them property then they. But plenty people then they still find it difficult for first, for even accept or for even understand that. So say plenty thank you to UNDP, we don't provide that support, they will try for explain that to people. And for equally support the one that way now victims of sexual gender-based violence. We're not able for access justice because of either they're on low financial status or they don't even know how to go about them. So they provide financial and technical support. And then 3 chiefdoms and then 3 districts where I don't outline. Now beyond that, they also Carl with support from UNDP again. They work on bail regulations for try for engage the bike riders. How they for able to understand first waiting a bail, and second how they for even try for access bail. How, for example, because often and again, we don't say bike riders are almost in the police. At times, they even charge them to court. Most of the time, when they get issues, either they run away, you understand, with police or law enforcement agencies for break them, for either check how many pillows they get, or if they get license, or they back their insure, or they back their roadworthy. Because of that, then they run away. And within that period, they can run into accidents. So UNDP say no need to follow traffic and get the bike riders on the bail regulations. thanks to the judiciary, they don't do a bail regulation. We don't monitor the bail regulations and they foresee how even their regulations and the judiciary or then the court and they adhere to regulations. I think in a moment I will talk about that very soon. But also again, part of this project and that for provide education to the bike riders. We don't engage the leadership of the bike riders union. The national executive, we don't talk to them. We don't also talk to various members of the bike riders union executive across the country for let them understand what's in this bail regulation they're about. What's in a bail, how they go secure bail, whether they grant bail, and why and how they forgot about bail. Now the question will come to another what's in a bail? Because most times, as you rightly say, Carl, we therefore provide education to the public. So for any time we get opportunity for talk to people out there, we want for provide education there. Now we don't talk about bail. Some of you know it's not bail. Some of you know say bail how it's like there is big word bail. Bail like a process down there where then they grant somebody where they don't bring before the law. You understand? Either in a police or in a court, then they grant a temporary release. That don't mean say the case you guilty of that case they don't accuse you of. Or that don't mean say the case undone. But then they grant you temporarily say, no, you know what? Because of the nature of this crime, or because of your own status, or the way I will see you, will they grant you temporary release first? Go. Anytime we need you, either in a police or in a court, you go come and answer to your case. If you're in a police, in a suspect, in a court, in a accused person. So now they don't bail exactly mean. And again, what are the grant bail? Bail at the court or the police they grant them. Because if you do the engagement, we don't find out, say, we really need for the public education a lot on bail. Because plenty people don't even understand what bail means. Now they can talk about bail bond. You understand? That bail bond alone, that's a big word for certain people. Bail bond, they tell you, say, for example, you take out a shorty, they don't grant you bail, for example, in a court. At the end of the day, if you fail for appear, this shorty will they can't forecast stand for you. Now it will end up for pay this amount of money. So count you host plan, count with this. So person go say, oh no, now money they can't take me now for bail. Because they don't begin asking say, like this I have account with. So the bail bond itself, this person, this accused person in court, it don't directly misconstrue that day.
So enjoying me with all this way you explain, so more especially talking about bail on I don't sensitize people, as you rightly say, the bike riders them. How they don't they accept them and who's changed this don't bring come like when they go to them for the first time and tell them about this bail, especially where you say plenty people no waiting a bail.
Bike riders are also the first engagement so they don't get under this project. Legal Aid Board don't do a lot of engagement with them on Stati Trocare and some other agencies. We're not just the tail end now, but we don't go engage them also again on bail. This don't help them, the leadership for him understand what's in a bail. This don't help the leadership not forgetting very good relationship according to them with even the law enforcement agencies like the Sierra Leone police, the traffic agency, and the road safety corps, and the one that we call traffic wardens. And with even the one that we look like SLRS, some other officials and where they work at the judiciary as well. They now don't know say when a bike rider, you understand, they're in a police, for example. The leadership they now go to police for engage the police first or no, waiting to arrest that bike rider for. And second, if they're available offense, men and grant and bail. Rather than before now, you go see bike rider and then go into serious riots because they don't all want the member, then barricade rules them, then begin misbehave, then they misconduct themselves. So they don't now tell you say no. As a result of this intervention, they don't think say yes, the police get their own considered responsibility for doing what they do so. So therefore, if any of the members don't default, they need for engage, you understand, the leadership of the police or that law enforcement agency, we don't arrest that member. They need for know that day.
Okay. We get different sectors then. You get the marketuman then, you get other people them as well. We did not bring the idea for make Carl engage bike riders about the issue of bail regulation.
This now as a result of the support we get from UNDP. This is now part of the peace building form where UNDP gets where they implement together with government, the Ministry of Youth Affairs as well. They're part of this project. Now the bike riders and our establishment and the way plenty people keep say they're lawless, quick then take the law in the hand and go to violence because of XYZ reasons. So we see say often and again the bike riders they always stay before the law. They did a police, they did a court. Why? Because then they arrest the membership for various offenses. And for grant bail, now one seriously Sudan they way bike riders and they always get challenged with. So now make force with yourself as part of this project for engage them, make them understand what's in a bail. What in bail mean and how then they get bail and would that they grant bail and what's in the process for men and give somebody bail. Let them understand the circumstances and let them say also know say then your membership, then your leadership at the national, district and regional levels then get a responsibility for ensure say when the member don't do before the law, how they go about for men that person to get bail. You know me say police will arrest you because you don't default. Now bad that police don't do. Make the bike riders also understand that. And as part of engagement with them, they don't understand that. You know the bad application of the law, you know me say the law bad. Most times, we get very good laws in this country. But how certain officers, they apply the law, they apply it wrongly. Now that means plenty of people say that law is a bad law.
So what will be the acceptance of the bike riders with regard the education we're not going to give them about bail regulation?
First, they're not able to enhance their knowledge with respect to bail. They don't now know, say, yes, bail, they're right. Second, they don't understand say they're not for pay money to anybody for getting bail. Because most times, or most of the concerns they come from my clients and that, some of the Alex say they can give money for men and grant bail. Even though the clients are in police stations, they say bail are free. But most times they say they can ask for give money. So they now don't know, say no, you know if you pay 1,000 to anybody for making grant you bail. And they don't understand, say bail are free, and therefore they don't understand they can't crime the way they commit when they for granting bail for within this within the specified period where they lost it.
Okay, talking about una don't go sensitize people about bail, telling them the importance of bail and all. How una don't work with the judiciary for CC and go support in that area there, because talking about them, you know, say most of the time now them people can get in contact with.
Yes. The judiciary, we don't work with them from that time we don't exist as CAL. You understand? And in fact, one of the very strong partners we can to waiting what they do so far. Now making fact now we before now and currently they monitor the application of the bail regulations. The bail regulation there, I'm sure Musico can talk to them about that in a moment. You know, their regulations they speak how they for grant bail across this country. So CAL we don't monitor that over time. We don't say yes. We don't submit report to the judiciary with respect to compliance when it comes to the bail regulations. But at that level, we see certain challenges are still there. From then we don't begin to look at the compliance when it comes to the bail regulations. Now we don't see people then still there we don't understand waiting a bail and how for even acquire bail. So man Steve is say until you give money before they grant you bail. Even when they say bail are free, you don't need to pay anything for bail. But some man if you still understand and they say no, bail are free. If you don't give money from, they don't grant you bail. So at the end of the day, if I want to get issue with the law enforcement agencies, it will decide for moving way through. Okay. The other thing also what I say about now then difficult conditions when they attack to bail, for example. Some conditions they can be very onerous. Now difficult conditions now. For example, if somebody they go now, you don't appear before the magistrate court abo, you understand? Then you go grant and bail say if account waiting, if account book, we get conveyance. When you look at Bo, most of the people that get host and Bo with respect to them, not get host book in a conveyance. You understand? Waiting and get now then book now then permit or whatever they go to paramount if you go sign. So if you give that kind of condition to somebody for in exchange of bail, it will be difficult for a for filing. Okay. You go grant somebody bail, for example, by 4:30 you don't grant a bail. Say if you account bank statement, now put on that person in the SRI account debo. By the time the person they come up, put on can't get a bank statement about time don't pass, you know 5 o'clock. So that person go end up for go sleep down because of the kind of condition we don't give. So now one serious now they also will look at
okay. Okay, continue for David Twin at the program in the acting executive director for Center for Accountability and the Rule of Law, Jeremy Ben Simbo, as he be the talk about seeing the way Carl don't they do. When we come back after this break, we can talk on the statement where the Chief Justice be make for Seka bail as according to them na part of the way for support government by the fight against drug na the country, make especially the kush drug. The program they continue, and members of the program where they listen to now Good Morning Salon where they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM, and where they bring come this edition, my name na Yeno Kabiam
and Adeyemi Jackson.
Well, inside the program now they take one power headline story them. The Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Kenya Balese, the agreement where the Ministry of Planning don't sign with international and non-government organization them not only go improve transparency and accountability, but go make sure say them program them they in line with government's medium-term national development plan. In talk this for sake the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development go sign one memorandum of understanding with international and non-governmental organization them where they operate in the country. Where reporter Adeyemi Jackson gets more and go now report.
According to Master Sabi people, for make any country develop, and the responsibility of different organization or institution where they operate in that country they for CC, then come together and help government for implement program them. We go improve the life of people where they live in that country day. For Salon, government are the biggest player for take development and how to reach area them. But study don't they show say government alone not go able to carry development in different pattern of the country, but need the support of other organization them like the international non-governmental organization where this na different body them where they operate na the country. Even though them different body them here, don dey operate na the country, but e clear say for long term now, then different international organizations them here don dey operate to themselves as they dey implement program wey different from government national development plan, as way for say them bring them together and work as one, make the Ministry of Plan and Economic Development don go sign one memorandum of understanding with the different international non-governmental organizations them, where e dey talk the development secretary na the Ministry of Plan and Economic Development, Ambrose James, start to explain about the reason for this agreement where the ministry don't sign with INGO them.
We envision that in as much as we have the structures that are out there, it seems as if the structures in some places are not working very well, and we need the buy-in of the center, which is the headquarters of your different NGOs. And that is why we have said, in the spirit of participation and collective responsibility, let us all sign together an MOU for which we will all be held collectively responsible if things go or things do not work well. So it's just in the spirit of the ministry itself to say things that we are supposed to follow up on, let's do the follow-up well. Where we had said we had action points that we need to do, let's do them well. And I think this is a combination of one of the action points from one of those meetings that we had.
The International Non-Governmental Organization Steering Committee, responsible for coordinating the affairs of international non-governmental organizations, we don't operate in the country. We make the chairman for this steering committee, James Riak Mateng, talk about what them as INGO think about this agreement.
We say a huge thank you to the ministry for supporting the NGO sectors in the coordination. The recent example was the engagement with the Vice President. The feedback we received among the partners, it was a productive engagement. It's something that we appreciate. We appreciate the ministry of dealing with that, and we hope as we continue, to discuss the development issues, it will not be a one-time event. We hope it will be a continual process where issues that are affecting us, issues that would affect the operation, are also discussed at that forum. And also there were actions going in that meeting that would also require follow-up. And we also appreciate if the ministry would also support in those follow-up.
Inside in your talk, the Minister of Plan and Economic Development, Kenya Bale, start to talk about some of the things them where they inside this agreement.
The purpose of this MOU, just to recap, that you will be signing, or the various MOUs that you will be signing, is to improve coordination at both the district and regional levels, more of the regional, the district and regional level, to strengthen reporting and communication. Because you meet, reports are not shared, or they're not communicated, and that also leads to the duplication, overlap, and also waste of time. To also reinforce mutual accountability, ensure that NGO interventions are aligned to the national and local development needs, and of course the national medium-term national development plan. And ultimately, this will improve the quality of your services delivered, and even your delivery channels to a certain extent, ultimately to impact the people of Sierra Leone.
One challenge where the Ministry of Plan and Economic Development don't get now how to coordinate the activity of international non-governmental organizations where don't they operate in the country. Where make Kenya Bale, they get this for say, but the issue of collaboration and coordination of INGO them.
So coordination is outlined as a separate section, and it's a major pillar of the MOU. And as I mentioned earlier, we expect to strengthen the coordination structures at every level. The MOU also affirms that the NGO country directors will ensure consistent participation and attendance of their district representatives in all coordination meetings. And all of these will be done in an effort to institutionalize coordination rather than leaving it to the goodwill of the various NGOs.
The Minister of Plan and Economic Development, Kenya Bale, and say the ministry will continue to support the work of INGO them where they operate in the country because they believe say they get important role for play and national development. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Adeyemi Jackson, the report.
Well, from that report, we can now studio. We still get with two studio guests. Then we get the spokesperson for the Sierra Leone Judiciary, when Moses Lamin Kamara, and so we get the Acting Executive Director for Center for Accountability and the Rule of Law, when Ajayime Ben Simo. Let me come over to you, Moses. Section 17.3 of the 1991 Constitution say any person who is arrested or detained in respect of a crime offense shall be brought before a court within a reasonable time, and if not tried within a reasonable time shall be released either unconditionally or upon reasonable condition, include bail. Women say any person will then bring before the court we get case and get rights for apply for bail according to the Constitution, and therefore grant and bail, even though if therefore grant and bail. This being said, we see the drug threats in the country now one way we see different sectors and on they come together for CC and support them. And the judiciary now one, because plenty time when they can get them KCR and can go to a court for CC then give justice. And one part it's in them where the Chief Justice being put because we talk on different things, they must say according to them they get a court where they get for the seat on Saturdays, get for get special magic and judge they all get for seats pass some of them case then they including in the Chief Justice and other 4 judge them. The statement will be making a status, and the other one will be saying that they no go grant people in bail when they go catch with drug, more especially coach. This statement from the judiciary, what it mean?
Okay, yes, the Honorable Chief Justice is really committed to that, and in statements they in line with the provisions of the law. We therefore understand, say, the Chief Justice, at the head of the judiciary, like we say, if you watch at with subjection or with independent, is subjected to the laws. You understand? And the provision where you read, yes, it is stated in the Constitution. It is a right of, now one of the things that the Constitution states as right of the accused. Every accused person is entitled to bail. If you go even on the new Criminal Procedure Act, or let me say even the old one will be the exist, Section 79, they tell you, say, even for murder, treason, and other one, then bail should be granted but by a judge. And this new Criminal Procedure Act also states that. But let us also look at the statement of the Chief Justice, whether in work in line with the law, because that is the essence why you take we back to the provision in the Constitution. Now, that provision engage several things. They say anybody with their own, you for carry to an court. That is it, for let the person be tried. That now one side. And it say the person should be tried within a reasonable time. You understand? If there is any delay, the person should be put on bail. You understand? Either under condition or by himself. You understand? So now what we are saying, before the Chief Justice make that statement or utter that statement, and also you don't first put mechanism there in place for expeditious trial. You understand? They say one, there are courts, then we're in the sets, where specifically these are specialized courts, where they try people them where they catch with drugs. That's now one thing. So it identifies specialized judges them. We don't go through the training the day, how for ensure say they deal with drugs matters then. The Chief Justice appoints them judges then day. If you watch, there are 4 judges that we appoint for ensuring they sit on drugs related issues then the magistrate, then obviously they have been trained. Then it say all the judges there in the provinces and the magistrates in the provinces, they all they sit on them. So the first thing what the Chief Justice do now for set up the mechanism then are they set up. Because whilst in cognizance of the fact, say, you will not go keep accused person. Mind you, he is a pioneer of bail. Now person when they push for bail. Now person when one of the members there for the bail regulation under the UNDP. Right from the start, it was there up till now, and they push for him. That is one. So it does set up all the mechanisms there in place and say, now we have the structures there so. Because we have the structures there so, we cannot admit somebody where they're charged with possession of drugs or drugs-related issue to bail. But in as much as we let they admit the person to bail, it's a way we need for do the alternative to not admitting the person to bail, which many will say is the right of the person, but we also they give the person the other right, which is expeditious trial. So in a situation wherein you get a case and it is expeditiously, they try quick, then it means you don't need bail. You understand? Because the essence of bail, mind you, if you watch at the bail regulation, which is an extract of the Criminal Procedure Act, and the Criminal Procedure Act were tied to the provision when you read so. The bail regulation, they say, you are opposed to bail. The court cannot grant bail, in as much as the bail regulation, they project bail, that we forgive bail. A category of cases then, where bail is a matter of right. Like for instance, all traffic offenses besides motor manslaughter, bail is a matter of right. When you go to court, they for grant you bail. Like the issues that when my brother they raise, we don't say if black riders and they come not for heinous offenses, then not grant the bail. Let the matter be reported to us. The Chief Justice they frown against that. We've said in those suspend magistrates them where don't do the things they did. So in order to tolerate that one. But on the issue of drugs, let us go to.
So now we try for say how they go try for like separate that what really that they mean. But for just say no more, anybody appear now before the judiciary or before the court, you understand, on allegations of drug, they don't grant that person the bail. In the name that then they try for expeditious to try that person. I think say that they get some serious consideration. So let them go back to that same decision and try for how they go review and operate under the confines of the law.
Continue for the between the program. Now not time for go break, but before go break, we want to welcome we other studio guests. We na Charlie Israel Williams. We na private legal practitioner. We self don't they deal with the thing that we get to do with law. We after the break where we come, he self go can get your take on the statements where the Chief Justice be made. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Okay, continue for the between. That bad drug them, but make a statement as their own commitment say. Because of the kind way they push them at the country now, drug them, then no go grant the judiciary, no magistrate or judge no go grant bail to anybody who they did before the court, where they go charge them with kush and other bad drug them. You know, a legal practitioner don't they represent people by different case them. You hear the statement from the Chief Justice, what you make up of them?
Okay, so in the first place, I think say just as you give you background, everybody they make effort for say we fight this drug menace within our country now, and in we efforts for say we fight them, we also for ensure say we look at what in the law say, we respect provisions of law. One thing I would tell you now that this with Chief Justice where we get now, he quite understand the role of the judiciary and what the judiciary can do for like we combat crime and all of those things. Now possibly go through the system for magistrates, he go right up judge, take High Court and take Supreme Court. However, the law where you just mentioned, section 17 of the Constitution, basically they say if you able to give somebody speedy trial, if you get that guarantee day, say you go get a speedy trial, that in itself can be a consolation for make you not give bail. However, outside the discussion really day, now the fact say, if you make a blanket, say anybody we they don't allege. Remember say we Constitution and section 23 say in Sierra Leone, first way they allege they don't commit offense, they innocent until the court make a determination of in guilt or not guilty. So if we strike a balance between section 17 and 23 now, you go out for say, but wait to now all man where they allege we for deny bail. Me as a legal practitioner, especially we can defend defendants or which we may call accused persons, I think say I will like for we look at them case by case, because we all know say not all man we will go court guilty at the end of the day. So what if the trial go say 1 month or 2 months as the case may be, because really any society where human they operate, judge can seek something can happen, you know, anything can happen we can make the trial delay small. So what if at the end of the day this person not guilty and then you don't refuse them bail, and then remember some people get other things within they do. When you seize them bail, it means you don't shut them down. If na businessman, in business don't shut down. If na post we get family, when I be care for them. So we for look at and say, in as much as one for fet drugs, where we all they say now this kush thing and all, but let we not do blanket. It's dangerous if you do blanket. Okay, that is the only thing I will say at this stage.
So from a private legal point of view, the Chief Justice be there in that position for make such statements?
Well, as I say, the side where the Chief Justice, for me, well, I know they speak for him, and that make the judicial spokesperson there, judicial spokesperson. I just dey look at that section 17 where say, if the court go give speedy trial, until where the court see say this person not going to get a speedy trial, then they can release on bail. But if the court now they give assurance say we go give speedy trial, they will not go give bail. The other part where me all na that, if even the Chief Justice they say that, but I don't think say for be on every other person where then can go before the court on an accusation. Remember say the two acts that they use for try drugs, now the Pharmacy Act and also the Drugs Act. Okay, now then two acts, then they get several provisions. So some money on na life imprisonment, some money on. So you get for look at also waiting at the allegation, but me they say me own position at that enough fine for let we blanket certain things, because it go interest you for no say.
When you talk of blanket, what do you mean?
Well, anybody once na drug allegation, we not go give you bail. For me, that one day dangerous.
Okay. Continue for the between the program in name na Charlie Israel Williams, and in a private legal practitioner they gave an opinion with regard the statement where the Chief Justice say with regard the issue of cushion or that drug them the country will come over to we studio guests, other studio guests when Moses, Lamin, Kamara away from the judiciary. You don't listen to Charlie Israel Williams and also Carl, they make them position. According to Charlie Israel Williams, that the issue of bail on the side of the Chief Justice not for the blanket. What in the judiciary mean by that? Think about that.
Okay, it is good that you know say it is wrong. You understand? Because the very provisions as I believe say,
but it described as a blanket.
Yes,
it described as a blanket. Where it say that's something dangerous.
I'm coming. We should be concerned and more concerned if the action of the Chief Justice is out of the law. But we agree it is within the law. The provision where we read so, the use of two shalls, one say if they hold the person, you for bring a kind of court is a must, you understand. Where in kind of court, the court has an option to bail. If you ensure say you give a speedy trial, you understand, then you cannot consider bail. You understand, eh? I say this again. The Chief Justice don't put the mechanisms them in place for speedy trial. And we for understand say
talking about granting bail, judge and magistrate for that kind of situation here no repeat in terms of the fight against the kush and other drug them.
okay, the first thing when I be seeing all over the news when the Chief Justice be saying 3 judges them with a magistrate, then go na They're going to Senegal on international training on the aspect of dealing with drugs and drugs-related issues. Then, and then judges then they form part of the judges then with the HRC, the specialized court with the Chief Justice sets for trident cases then they. And mind you, that they be also the number 4 specialized court that we get. So then judges then they are well equipped, and then magistrates then they are well equipped. And recently we also see wherein the judiciary conduct, the Chief Justice and HRC, judges and magistrates, all of them we are trained on the issue of drugs and drugs-related issues and other issues of crime. So we get the facility, we get the technical know-how on the judges and magistrates for deal with their cases then. So what he did was to set up the tool for expeditious trial. We get the judges then we train, yes. We get the lawyers, we get the system, yes. We get the structure, yes. So expeditious trial, as against the aspect of giving bail, is sure for us. Now, it make now then things that they set up for us. For say, okay, now we don't get any things there. We can make this pronouncement, and we also have to be cognizant of the fact that push possession of drugs now one of the strict liability offenses.
So Moses, you go agree say the magistrate the way sentence that woman for go 8 months in prison wrong?
No, we know prove a mate in the first place. You understand? We not prove a mate.
According to the woman, say now we then talk because it appear na magistrate court number 1, number 3, number 6.
No. Now waiting and say how somebody go appear for one offense, number 1, number 2.
Because you get 3 picking on the drug addicts.
So we are saying if you are caught, I was talking about strict liability offense. When they catch you with drugs, you don't need intent for proof. You understand? All you need for the fact that they don't catch you with them, you don't commit an offense. Now for go prove now whether now you be Ola or not. You understand? So that is one thing.
But this now not to the woman in
no, we are saying now waiting in see.
Okay.
But we not go against the law for go send somebody in a prison. But mind you also, if the Chief Justice, who is a pioneer of bail, they say on this issue we cannot grant bail, but will give expeditious trial. There is nothing wrong about it, and he has the mandate through a practice direction as well for ensure say if there is anything of emergency, he can come out with a practice direction for say you know waiting, we dey do this thing for ensure say we curtail them.
So waiting at this speedy trial we dey talk about now 1 month, 2 days, 1 week or 1 year, which one? What you mean?
It all depends, but when you say speedy trial, you know the thing. In fact, the new CPA, my brother go agree with me, the new CPA, in fact, they push for speedy trial. And when they see in all other cases, including murder case now, the moment where they commit you by the time they remember within a week or less than that, you don't have high court take up your issue by the time they remember, they don't determine your fate. Also, waiting we for understand as well.
Okay.
Coach, if they catch you, like what's in a strict liability offense, they can't catch you say they manufacture kush. Okay, we can say case by case basis, but they can't catch you say they manufacture kush. Then they see the things and then they see the items and are you on. The risks were involved for grant bail. We've seen it. Okay, let me take the case of Bigitel. Why we should not be granted bail. Bigitel. We see Bigitel was granted bail. In the aspect say there is a provision, fairness, it could not be traced. It's a big risk as well. And if this is a national issue, the Chief Justice, when are the custodian of the law, where it not go against the law, but for say, we need for ensure say we fight this thing. Mind you, when it comes to national concern, there is a collaborative effort where everybody will come on deck, the organs of government they come on deck, for ensure say we do a try of that. So there is nothing wrong in law for let the Chief Justice say bail should not be granted when it creates an alternative to it.
Continue for the between the program in name of Moses Lamin Kamara and in the spokesperson for the Salon Judiciary. We come over to the other studio guest, we are Jeremy Ben Simbo, we are the acting executive director for CAL. You don't listen from the judiciary and also a private legal practitioner with the issue of bail, and una done the work around the issue of bail. From the civil society point of view, which you do not think say need for be done in the area of fighting
because we don't say bail, you don't say, oh, they talk about bail, but you still get certain people up to this point believe and understand say bail now, thing way now as of right or bail free. Just like me brother say and that Israel say, I think say the judiciary also need to understand say let them not blanket this whole thing. This is when I'm young position and independently, not to carry young view this, you understand. But as also states in this country, we want to see push bad. But men not just blanket everybody. But again, Moses still continue for Terry say the judiciary don't put in place expeditious trial. We I think
what do you make up of this all?
Okay, well, specifically, I can't speak to that woman the situation because the fact not available. However, as a lawyer, I go agree say some trial in the way or investigations and the way don't go for a long time.
Okay.
I mean, quite before now, some people just on PI been they take like 6 months, 1 year and a court, meaning the case not be geared to. This is how it will be a call investigation. But now, honestly, myself will tell you, say, me a witness, say, what we call now committal proceedings, very fast. Between 14 to 28 days, if the magistrate for send you in a high court, they send you there. Okay. However, the reason we make, I see me brother Moses, they give examples of things that we don't happy, we make this issue of denying bail also important. But also we get situations of things that we also do happen or we get potential for happen. We go make possible you seize in bail. Later you self go regret why I seize this man in bail. Because the moment where somebody they like by you now say you get issue with drugs, they lie by you no more. Once that allegation is about drugs, you go before the court. Definitely, you know, say you get for day behind bars. So we get for look at then consideration then day, because if you don't make a blanket say anybody where they allege say involved in drugs, once you don't make a blanket, even if they lie by you, once that allegation is drugs, because the moment you begin from now pick and choose, you don't create problem.
Okay.
You see the issue. So that's where the concern is. A mere allegation, lie no more say, oh, drugs. But I go, you go be embarrassed.
Okay, continue for the
and then one last thing I want to say, this is important. Remember that prison situation will be happening today, where people die in a prison, eh? Do you know some people were there for remand, on remand? Where sometimes the two make them put them in a paremba road, now be like them neighbor fete or course. They cost me, they say, okay, go remand. He lost in life there.
Continue for the between the program. In name Charlie Israel Williams, and in a private legal practitioner, they talk about the issue of bail regulation with regard kush and other bad drug them in the country. Good morning, Salon. They continue and they come over to we studio guests them as we try for round up the program. We'll start with you, Israel, we a private legal practitioner. What do you think is the way forward?
Okay, so the way forward is this. In as much as we say whether the statement which Chief Justice make okay or no okay, I think say we also need for continue for talk to the public. This issue of drugs, you know, even we as lawyers, sometimes some people can ask, when I can defend them, you know, I can say, well, that's our job. I mean, we not a pick and choose who they defend. We they defend anybody. However, we just want to talk to the public, talk to mama them within our community, because this issue of bail they talk about so. Sometimes the people that with the pressure they on bail, not to you where they don't detain. Now your family, you know. We listen very recently where one policeman they address a group of other policemen the way they say sometimes the burden we family they get for let them put resources together for pull somebody in a police station. So they say the judiciary can still look at this and consider case by case. Okay, I think that's what I would say.
Okay, plenty thank you to you, Charlie Israel Williams. We're a legal practitioner. We take it time for be part of the program today. We also come over to the other studio guest. We're Jeremy Ben Simbo. We're an acting executive director for CAL. The way forward.
The way forward, this fight we need for be a collective fight. Let everybody come on board for fair discourse fight. Let we not restrict them to or limit them to politicians or we limit them to just a certain group of people. But let everybody fight up, the media, civil society, government, one the way out of, even we brothers and sisters out of this country, we get a way for support this country for make we fight this fight and conclude them, love fight them. And next, let the fight, let they not they pick and choose. Let the fight a cut across. Anybody where this thing point at, let them deal with and just like how they go deal with any other person so far. Not the thing is for say no, this person in senior parties and deal with that kind of way.
Okay, plenty thank you to you, Jeremy Ben Simbo, acting executive director for CAL. Come over to Moses Lamin, Kamara, spokesperson for the judiciary.
We want to assure the public that we will always use the law and judicial fairness for ensure say we deal with the issue of Kush, and the Chief Justice, before he make the statement, don't put the mechanism there in place for expeditious trial. And we want to encourage everybody, the journalists, them, let them witness the Kush cases and how we deal with them. Because we know, say, the accused person himself gets right. But that is why we create expeditious trial instead of the granting of bail. And Mr. Israel don't talk about case-to-case basis. I'm pretty sure the Chief Justice kept that in mind as a secondary issue, but the primary concern is that whosoever comes for let will get bail in all go easy.
Okay, plenty thank you to you, Moses Lamin Kamara, spokesperson for the Salon Judiciary, and also plenty thank you to Jeremy Ben Simbo, acting executive director for CAL, and Charlie Israel Williams, private legal practitioner. Well, now so we'll bring down the curtain for today's edition of the program. Good morning, Salon.